The trajectory itself was chosen to be such that the timing of its arrival is perfect for that, with a likelihood of 1 in 20,000.
The warning signs are here. An object from interstellar space, 3I Atlas, is behaving in a way that makes no sense. The thing nobody tells you is that it was just caught on camera firing a jet of material toward the sun, an act so unnatural it's been compared to an animal growing a tail from its forehead. Celebrated and controversial Harvard scientist Avi Loeb is sounding the alarm, stating that the scientific community is ignoring a mountain of evidence. This isn't just one anomaly, it's a cascade of them, pointing to a conclusion that is both terrifying and world-changing. The jet pointing the wrong way. Something is fundamentally wrong with the latest visitor to our solar system. Out in the cold, silent darkness of space, an object designated 3I Atlas is speeding through our cosmic neighborhood, but it just did something that has left astronomers stunned and scrambling for explanations. It fired a jet of material, a glowing plume stretching thousands of miles, but it wasn't pointed away from the sun like a normal comet tail. It was pointed directly at it. This is not supposed to happen, ever. You see, for centuries we've understood how comets work. They are essentially dirty snowballs. As they get closer to the sun, the heat causes ice to sublimate, turn directly into gas, and release dust and gas. This material is then pushed away by two powerful forces: the constant stream of particles from the sun, known as the solar wind, and the pressure of sunlight itself. The result is always a beautiful tail, or sometimes two, pointing directly away from the sun. It's one of the basic, reliable rules of our solar system. But not for 3I Atlas. On August 2nd, 2025, the 2-meter twin telescope in the Canary Islands, Spain, took a long look at this interstellar traveler. After combining 159 exposures, a ghostly image emerged. There, clear as day, was a faint jet extending out for a projected distance of about 3,700 miles from the object's nucleus. And its direction was unmistakable. It was aimed sunward. The first hint of this bizarre behavior came a few weeks earlier, on July 21st, when the Hubble Space Telescope caught a glimpse of an extended glow pointing toward the sun. But this new, clear image confirmed the impossible. Many people in the scientific community are trying to brush this off, calling it a normal comet. But Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb, a man who isn't afraid to challenge the status quo, says this is a colossal mistake. Loeb, who was the head of Harvard's astronomy department for nearly a decade and leads the Galileo project to search for extraterrestrial technology, calls this what it is: a shocking anomaly. He compares it to seeing a photograph of a cat, only to realize the tail is coming out of its forehead. It's a fundamental error in what we expect to see. What many overlooked is that this single bizarre feature is just the tip of a very large and very strange iceberg. The jet is the most visible sign that 3I Atlas isn't just another rock from deep space. It's a messenger carrying a list of anomalies so profound that they challenge the very idea that this is a natural object at all. This isn't Loeb's first rodeo with a strange interstellar object. He was the leading voice suggesting that the first ever interstellar visitor, Oumuamua, was not a comet or asteroid, but a piece of alien technology due to its strange flat shape and the fact that it accelerated away from the sun without any visible tail. The scientific community largely dismissed his ideas then. But now, with 3I Atlas, the evidence is even more bizarre and, to put it mildly, much harder to ignore. The sunward jet is a direct contradiction of celestial mechanics. So what could possibly be causing it? And more importantly, what other secrets is 3I Atlas hiding? The sunward jet is an anomaly that demands an answer, but it's what comes next that's truly alarming. 7 more reasons to worry. The jet pointing at the sun would be enough on its own to make 3I Atlas the strangest object ever detected in our solar system. In Hebrew, there's a word, dayanu, which means it would have been enough. Avi Loeb uses this concept to lay out a devastating case, a checklist of anomalies where each new point is more unbelievable than the last. Each one on its own should make us question everything. Together, they paint a truly startling picture. First on the list, after the jet, is the object's sheer size and speed. 3I Atlas is estimated to be 1,000,000 times more massive than Oumuamua and 1,000 times more massive than the second interstellar visitor, 2I Borisov. At the same time, it's moving much faster than both. It's a true behemoth, tearing through our system with incredible energy. The thing nobody tells you is that interstellar space is mostly empty. For an object this huge and this fast to arrive now is a statistical improbability of the highest order. Dayanu. It would have been enough. Next is its trajectory. Our solar system is like a flat disk with all the planets orbiting the sun on a relatively level plane called the ecliptic. Objects from our own solar system like asteroids and comets tend to follow this plane. But an object from another star should arrive from a random direction, from above, below, or any odd angle. Yet 3I Atlas is aligned in its path within 5 degrees of the ecliptic plane. It's traveling the same highway as our planets. The odds of this happening by chance are staggeringly low. It's like throwing a dart from across a continent and having it land perfectly flat on the edge of a dinner plate. Dayanu. Then there is its arrival time. The object's path is bringing it remarkably close to several planets in our solar system. It's passing within tens of millions of miles of Mars, Venus, and even the gas giant Jupiter. This trajectory almost looks like it was designed to use the gravity of these planets to adjust its course. A technique our own space probes use called a gravity assist. To have an interstellar object arrive on such a finely tuned path, perfectly timed to interact with multiple planets, is another unbelievable coincidence. Dayanu. But it gets even weirder. When scientists analyzed the gas coming off 3I Atlas, they found something that left them speechless. The plume contained nickel, but no iron. In nature, nickel and iron are almost always found together in asteroids. The thing nobody tells you is that pure nickel alloys without iron are typically the result of industrial manufacturing here on Earth. Furthermore, the ratio of nickel to cyanide in its plume is orders of magnitude larger than in any known comet. It's a chemical signature unlike anything natural. Dayanu. Comet experts predicted 3I Atlas would be rich in water, a classic dirty snowball. The reality? The gas plume contains only 4% water by mass. This object is incredibly dry, completely contradicting the primary model for what a comet from another star should look like. This lack of water, combined with its bizarre chemistry, suggests it's made of something else entirely. Something unnatural. Dayanu. Scientists also studied the light reflecting off at a property called polarization. The results were, once again, unprecedented. 3I Atlas showed extreme negative polarization, a reading never seen before in any known comet, including our other interstellar visitor, 2I Borisov. The surface material of this object is fundamentally different from anything we have ever studied. Dayanu. And for the final, chilling coincidence. Decades ago in 1977, a radio telescope picked up a powerful 72-second-long transmission from deep space. It was so striking the astronomer who found it wrote "Wow" on the data printout. The "Wow" signal is the single most compelling candidate for an alien transmission ever received. 3I Atlas arrived from a direction in the sky that is within 9 degrees of the origin point of the WOW signal. The odds are astronomical. This checklist of oddities goes far beyond coincidence, pointing towards a conclusion many are afraid to even consider. What is Avi Loeb really saying? Let's step back and look at this from a distance. A massive, unnaturally dry object made of industrial-like metals travels on a planetary highway from the direction of our most famous potential alien signal and, upon arrival, fires a jet at our sun. When do we stop calling these coincidences and start calling them clues? Avi Loeb and a growing number of observers are suggesting that we are not looking at a random act of nature. We are looking at a deliberate act of engineering. The connection to the WOW signal is perhaps the most goosebump-inducing part of this entire puzzle. The signal was a powerful narrowband radio transmission, the exact kind of signal that SETI, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, has been looking for. It came from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius, and it has never been detected again. For decades, it has been a tantalizing mystery. Now, an object with a laundry list of unnatural characteristics arrives from that exact same patch of sky. You see, it's one thing for a rock to come from that direction. It's another thing entirely for an object that seems to be breaking the laws of physics to do so. Let's consider the composition again. Nickel with no iron. This isn't just a minor chemical quirk, it's a potential industrial fingerprint. On Earth, we create specific alloys for specific purposes, to be stronger, lighter, or more resistant to heat. A nickel-based superalloy, for instance, is used in jet engines and spacecraft because of its incredible strength and resistance to corrosion. Is it possible that 3I Atlas is not a rock but a machine, a probe, or even a piece of a much larger craft made from materials designed to survive an impossibly long journey between the stars? This is where Avi Loeb's argument becomes so powerful and so controversial. He isn't just saying it's aliens. He's saying that the scientific method demands we consider the artificial origin hypothesis. When all natural explanations fail to account for the evidence, the only responsible next step is to consider an unnatural explanation. The sunward jet is the perfect example. There is no accepted model in astrophysics that can explain it. Comet experts who insist it's a normal comet simply ignore the fact that the tail is on the wrong end. They are ignoring the data that doesn't fit their preconceived notions. What many overlooked is that this could be a Galileo moment. When Galileo first claimed the Earth revolved around the sun, he was mocked and condemned because it went against the established wisdom of the day. The experts refused to even look through his telescope. Today, Loeb argues many scientists are refusing to look through the telescope at the data from 3I Atlas. They are so afraid of ridicule that they would rather stick to a failed explanation that it's a comet than confront the monumental possibility that it could be something more. A probe, a relic, or a message in a bottle, sent sailing across the cosmic ocean for a reason. But if it is a probe, then the question becomes, why is it firing a jet at our sun? Ignoring the elephant in the room. The arrival of 3I Atlas has created a deep divide in the scientific community. On one side, you have the majority of comet experts and astrophysicists. To them, it's just a weird comet. They argue that we have only seen a few interstellar objects, so we don't have a large enough sample size to know what's normal. They suggest that perhaps there's some unknown physics at play, some bizarre interaction with the sun's magnetic field that could maybe explain the sunward jet. But the thing nobody tells you is that these are just guesses. There is no solid theory or mathematical model to back them up. They are simply trying to fit a square peg into a round hole because the alternative is too uncomfortable. On the other side is Avi Loeb and his colleagues at the Galileo Project. They argue that clinging to the comet label is an act of intellectual cowardice. It's ignoring a mountain of evidence in favor of comfortable dogma. Loeb points out that every single attempt to explain the anomalies of 3I Atlas with natural physics has failed. The object is too big, too fast, its path too precise, its chemistry too artificial, and its behavior too bizarre. Each anomaly requires a separate, unlikely natural explanation. At some point, the simplest explanation, the one that explains everything at once, is that it was designed. This isn't just a friendly debate. Careers and reputations are on the line. The topic of extraterrestrial intelligence has long been on the fringe of serious science. To suggest an object is artificial is to risk being labeled a crank. But Loeb's credentials, his long tenure as the chair of astronomy at Harvard, make him impossible to dismiss so easily. He is forcing a conversation that many in the establishment do not want to have. They are ignoring the elephant in the room, the data itself. Some have suggested trying to get a closer look. A recent proposal suggested that the Europa Clipper or Hera spacecraft, which will be relatively nearby, could try to detect its gaseous plume. However, Loeb quickly calculated that the solar wind would sweep away any plume long before it could reach the spacecraft. It's a dead end. We are left with the data we have, and it all points in one unsettling direction. Is 3I Atlas the greatest discovery in human history, or just a very weird rock? Let us know your thoughts below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more cosmic mysteries.